All right, so this is my bibliotherapy activity for fall 2023 in our counseling and child and adolescent class. The book I chose is The Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This book contains themes of loss, grief, physical limitations and chronic illness, betrayal, mother issues, and father issues, to be honest, complex emotions, and love. A summary. Warning. There are spoilers ahead, so if you're planning on reading this book, you've been warned. Okay, so set in the magical world of Navarre, young adults have little choice for their future. Violet Sorrengail, daughter of the general in the army, has no choice. She is to become a dragon rider. She has numerous medical issues and a frail body. Her father was raising her to become a scribe. However, after his death, her mother squelched that plan, and she will become a dragon rider or die. After crossing the parapet, a cliff face full of danger, Violet thought she had faced the hardest danger yet. Unfortunately, the riders are pitted against one another, fighting to the death to reach the threshing. Threshing is where riders can be chosen by dragons. Dragons choose their rider, and many of the recruits die in this process. Violet surprises all by being chosen, not just by one, but 2 dragons. Terran, the largest, most powerful dragon who's a century old, and Andarna, a golden featherwing with unknown powers, and at this time, no one had ever bonded with this type of dragon before. Violet has always loved Dane, her oldest friend, and he becomes her squad leader. He implements limits on what she can do and doubts her ability to be a rider, constantly finding ways to try to sneak her into the scribe quadrant. Violet senses this doubt in her abilities and pushes harder and fights to overcome her physical limitations. Terran, Violet's dragon, is bonded to Sagail, which further complicates Violet's emotions, as Sagail is Xaden's dragon. This connection allows all 5 of them to communicate and literally links Violet to Xaden. Violet is drawn to Xaden, who's the son of the rebel who killed her brother. This dissonance within Violet pushes her to test her limits, strengthen her body and mind in hopes of making it through her first year of the academy. Xaden and the other children of the rebels work within the system of the academy to create ways of continuing the resistance. Xaden and Violet join forces to become an unbeatable team until she uncovers the lies and omissions of Xaden. This creates a divide between them that might not be recoverable, despite their intense physical and emotional connection. Here's a map of Navarre. So, looking at issues within this book and using this in a setting for counseling, I think that this lends to numerous young adult audiences. It could be focused for someone who has chronic illness, crippling self-doubt, if they've lost someone, a parent, a sibling, a friend. Anxiety is definitely a common theme throughout this book. Friendship, there's complex friendships in this. There's also the loss of friends. Love, unrequited, as Violet experiences with Dane, and complex as Violet discovers her relationship with Xaden. Living within the expectations of others, Violet's parents set what seemed to be unrealistic expectations for her, and she has to live through them. And then, of course, secrecy and dealing with keeping secrets and how to handle when your friends are keeping secrets from you. This book deals with many issues that might not be suitable for a young audience, so I would recommend probably 14 and older for this book. There are also some spicy scenes and chapters, so reader beware. Be prepared for those. And if the client is maybe sensitive to spicy scenes, you might want to make sure that they are aware that that is going to be in the book. Now to follow up. So using this in a counseling situation, I actually think this would be great for either individual or group therapy. because of the variety of themes that are in the book, it can really hit differently with one person or another. So these are some questions that I thought of to use within the context of counseling. So who do you relate with? Identify the strengths of that character, and what do they have to overcome? So in the novel, what did that character have to overcome? What is your personal parapet? So what is the first initial struggle that you have gone through that you thought was going to be the hardest, but turns out there's more to come? Violet's parents had different hopes for her future. How did she manage with those forced expectations? And then relating that to the person, do your parents have hopes for your future? Do they differ from what you want? Violet really struggles with the fact that she had been raised to become a scribe, and her mother forced her to join the dragon riders. But she uses all the knowledge that she had learned in preparing to be a scribe to outwit and outmatch the other riders that she was pitted against. How does keeping secrets affect the characters? There's numerous secrets, from the mother keeping secrets from the daughter to friends keeping secrets from one another. There's a lot of secrecy in here, and I think that could help with someone who's having trouble with friendships and the desire to keep things secret. Even between parent and child, what secrets are appropriate to keep and not. How do the signets represent the characters? So signets are given by the dragon to the rider, but it is the magic within the rider that produces this power. And so the signet represents the power within the person. So how do they represent the character versus, and then what do you think your signet would be? So it's to create some sense of balance, and also gives insight into what your personal strengths and challenges might be. And then one of the hardest things when dealing with loss in the book is that in their culture, in this society, they have to burn everything that the person has, everything that that person is a belonging of that person. And so you're supposed to destroy everything. So their journals, anything they've created, all of that would need to be burned at the time of someone's death. There's also a lot of, once again, secrecy, because people do keep often one or two key items in, and this tradition of keeping that is against the societal. Okay, so that's what I had prepared for the Fourth Wing. There is a sequel out called Iron Flame, so this could keep going in a book group or a group counseling session. Once you finish the first book, you could continue into the second, and this was a great book, I think, that could be used with young adults up through early adult stage to help them really recognize their strengths and weaknesses. And credit where credit is due, I got this template off of Slides to Go.